is something in the basement of the org, and it is still moving.
Frankie, what did you find?
Workflow rules, 15 of them. They are supposed to be dead, right? Salesforce said no more support after December 25.
Right, they are retired.
Well, nobody told these workflow rules that. One of them just sent an email to someone named Gary from finance, and Gary left the company in 2022.
Oh my gosh, that tracks actually.
Is this a zombie problem? Do I need a shovel, a silver bullet, a strongly worded Slack message?
Let's talk about why still running is not the same as still safe.
Okay, wait. I thought Salesforce killed workflow rules and process builders. Why are they still walking around my basement?
Frankie, that's gonna trip up a lot of people, and it's worth being precise about it. As of December 31st, 2025, Salesforce officially ended support for workflow rules and process builders, meaning no more bug fixes, no more customer support for them, but no more support doesn't mean stop working. Active workflow rules and process builder processes continue to run exactly as they did before. That's a trap because they still fired and team assume migration is optional and they kept busy working on something else. But instead, it's a hidden time bomb with clock ticking.
So they are not zombies, they are more like unsupported roommates who refuse to move out and stop paying rent. Okay, but if it is still but if it still works, what's actually the danger? Isn't still working the whole point?
If something suddenly breaks, an edge case, a data volume issue, an interaction with a newer flow, there is no error message and no alert. A record action depended on the old process simply doesn't happen silently. You find out 3 months later when someone asks why 40 leads never got assigned, and the answer is a workflow rule that quietly stopped doing its job with nobody the wiser.
So it's less zombie apocalypse and more ghost that stopped doing its job and didn't tell anyone. Somehow worse. Fine, I'm convinced we need to deal with it. Where do I even start with 15 ancient workflow rules?
The practical playbook is audit, prioritize, consolidate, then migrate. First, go to setup, process automation, workflow rules, active column. That's your real inventory, not the one in anyone's memory. Then prioritize by business impact and complexity, not what's easiest. Salesforce own migrate to flow tool can help convert simpler rules directly. But the real value add step most teams skip is consolidation. Several old rules on the same object often belong in a single well-designed record trigger flow instead of being ported over one for one.
Oh, so it's less reanimate the corpse than more give it a whole new better body. I respect that. You said one for one like it's a bad thing. What's wrong with just rebuilding each old rule exactly as a matching flow?
This is the gotcha almost nobody expects. Order of execution generally changes character between these two. A workflow rule and a process builder process interacts with the platform's execution order differently than the record trigger flow does. So, if you build everything one for one without re-examining the sequencing, you can carry forward or even introduce subtle bugs in the shiny new tool. Treat this migration as a genuine redesign opportunity, not a copy-paste exercise. Test thoroughly in a sandbox with realistic data volume before you trust it in production.
So I can't just give corpse a new coat of paint. I have to actually rebuild the skeleton. I relate to this on a personal level. Frankie Lab Notes. Number 1. Workflow rules and process builder stop getting Salesforce support on December 31st, 2025. But unsupported doesn't mean off. 2. The real risk is silent failure. No error, no alert, just automation that quietly stop work. 3. The fix is audit, prioritize, consolidate, then migrate. Not a panicked one-for-one copy-paste. And 4. Order of execution changes between tools. So treat this as a redesign, not a costume change. This has been Frankie's Lab Notes. Gary from Finance. If you are listening, I'm so sorry about the emails.
So folks, That's episode 3. Next up, we look into what happens when nobody agrees on which Apex trigger gets to go first. Spoiler, nobody ever agrees. See you there.